So, episode 14 was kind of anticlimactic, right? Let's talk about it. But before we talk about it, man, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy, ItsKheals, and I'm back. I know it's been like a good 2 weeks since my last video. I think 2 weeks, literally to the day. I needed some time away. I wanted to enjoy a new year with my family and just get my mental right. So I was away. I miss y'all, and I miss talking about some of my favorite anime. Attack on Titan, I know I'm down 2 episodes. We're gonna get into that. Later on. You know, we got a video for that. But today, we got some answers and some more questions in Yashahime Princess Half Demon episode 14. One, Hamura was very underwhelming, to say the least. We know the episode was more centered around him and Tamino and that dynamic that a lot of people really don't want to talk about, but being that this is placed in feudal Japan, it was something that was very common in feudal Japan, unfortunately, and glad he's gone. Let's get him out. Let's just say that now. Get him out of here. I will say, TOWA's reaction to finding out that he was the one that burned down the forest, priceless. Extremely priceless. That was actually the moment that I thought we was gonna get more of full demon transformations. You know how Setsuna had hers with her hand, and I just figured that TOWA's full transformation would be triggered but through her emotions. We get a lot of that from the season so far, that she gets really strong depending on her emotions during a certain situation is heightened and whatnot. They didn't go that way, so I'm assuming there's going to be a bigger, better reason as to why she's going to transform. Here nor there. Riku. Just how strong is Riku? Just how long has Riku been active? We don't get him a lot, and he doesn't really say a lot when he is in the episode, but his actions alone speaks to me and tells me that he is going to be, or that he already is actually, the Naraku of the sequel. Like, he has to be. He's literally he has his hands dipped in every single situation. I wouldn't be surprised if he played a part in the forest fire as well, just not on screen at that moment, because we have Hamura, we have SESSHOMARU being complicit in his normal SESSHOMARU way of just staring and walking away. That's what we've known of him since the beginning, but to just walk away when somebody is giving an order to burn down the forest which your daughters is in, sounds complicit to me. Now, we do know he has his reasons. We don't know the exact reasons. We do know Rin might be a part of it, so maybe there was a plan that he had involved, and maybe just putting TOWA and Setsuna in a dangerous situation was a necessary evil that needed to be done. We don't know. I personally feel that SESSHOMARU might be a bad guy. He might just be, like, if not a full-blown bad guy, he's probably vigilante SESSHOMARU. He's neither on good, he's neither on the bad. He's out to fulfill his own goals any way that he sees fit. And we also get Zero, and I, like a lot of other people, thought that Zero in the preview resembled SESSHOMARU's mother, like very similar to the mom. We didn't see her back before. We saw like the eyes, the makeup, the markings, stuff like that resembled SESSHOMARU's mom and pretty much their clan. So I thought that's who she was. They introduced her name as Zero. They said mysterious demon Zero, but there's no inclination of whether she's a part of the family. We don't really know. I'm going to assume that she's probably a member of the clan that doesn't like their people mixing in with humans. which is kind of got that when she literally tells Hamura to burn the forest and destroy these cursed half-blood sisters, essentially talking about TOWA and Setsuna. So they gave answers, but for just as much answers they answered, they gave us more questions that need to be answered. Maybe they're gonna solve that later on, either this season or if they have another season going on that they probably should have planned already. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, this was very, I don't want to say cliffhanger, but it was very anticlimactic. They gave some answers, didn't really move the needle the way I wanted them to, I guess, let's say. But yeah, how strong is Riku? He seems to have a lot of influence. Maybe it's the pearl that he has on his ear, because even in the end, when they're fighting, or the trio's fighting Homura and stuff like that, and Tamino and Riku's on Takachiyo, and they come in, and Homura gets his usual angry self, and he's like, why are you with this man? Riku literally is egging Tamino on to go back and be with him, and Tamino's whole personality, demeanor, it changes. Like, in the course of episode, her personality is very docile, is nice. She doesn't want to bother, she doesn't want to hurt anybody, she doesn't want any harm. She was relatively quiet when she was with Hamura after he kidnapped her, and he pretty much roasted people alive just for looking at her. She was pretty docile. But this one moment, this one instance, she went completely 180. She's literally telling this guy to his face, I don't like you, I don't want to be with you, essentially, you disgust me. And in between her literally attacking Hamura verbally, you have Riku essentially egging her on with one or two questions in between, like, hey, you should go back to him. No, I hate this guy, I'll never go back to him. Hey, he said he loves you. You gonna go back? You wanna go back? I'll take you down right now if you wanna go back. No, I hate this guy. Go away. I want him to go away. I'll never be with you. I'm my own woman. And I rooted for it. But I also had a thought of what caused the sudden shift in her personality, because it was really fast. It was really fast. Even as she went from explaining the story, how she got held captive with him, and through that whole story, she never not once uttered a single mean thing to say, even as this guy essentially roasted people and burned people alive in front of her. But this one instance in a fight that was essentially caused by Riku, her whole demeanor, her whole personality went from nice docile girl to hot girl summer. Like it was that fast. So I feel that Riku has a lot more influence over people than he leads on. Like he flicked the pearl on his ear. Takachiyo came just like that. Now, yeah, you could say Takachiyo was already going back, but that was extremely fast how that happened. I don't know how far the snow mountains is from Jubei's hut, but that's still kind of fast. Like, Takachiyo still had snow on him and everything, so it probably wasn't that far, but still. And even as he rung it, he was like, Takachiyo was like, hey, you cold for me? Why would that even be an instance if Takachiyo was already on his way back to the hut regardless? Riku's hiding something. Like, Riku is definitely hiding something, and even though the new Yashahime opening pretty much essentially doesn't really show him as much, it shows more SESSHOMARU, Inuyasha, Rin, Kirimaru, it shows Zero. Like, this next half is probably going to be centered more around what happened with Inuyasha, SESSHOMARU, and Rin. I have a feeling that Riku is still going to play a big part in the background. Like, essentially, like Naraku. Like, Naraku had all these other people fighting his battles for him. He just stayed in the back and he strategized the next best plan that he could do to best Inuyasha in his group. I feel Riku was just the same. The difference is he's kind of taken more of in-person personality or appearance, let's say. Like, he showed up a lot more in front of the group than I would say that the early on version of Naraku did. So I enjoyed this episode though. I wouldn't say it was an 8.5 or a 9. It's probably like 7.5, just because they did move the plot along. They filled in the plot point. Who started the fire? We know that Riku is definitely a bigger player in this story than what I feel a lot of people early on, and including myself, picture him being. I had Kidimaru as the big bad guy, but now Riku, it's definitely got to be that guy, and I would be disappointed if it's not. But that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this episode. Why do I keep calling my videos episodes? That's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment what you felt about this episode. What would you rate it? How do you feel about Sesshomaru being complicit in the forest fire? Did he know that his sisters? Did he know that his daughters was going to be okay? Did he know about the Tree of Ages potentially saving one, if not both of them? Who knows? But that's gonna do it. It's been your boy Kills. See you guys in the next video. Peace.